Hello, guys. Welcome back to Affirmation. I'm wishing everyone, let's see if I can get me a new lighter, y'all. I had that torch lighter that was kind of scary last time. But wishing everyone, let's see if I can get it to light. Okay. Mental, spiritual, emotional. Didn't want to give us the smoke, y'all. All right. Is that it? It doesn't want to work today. Wishing everyone mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. Okay. I'm hoping everyone is doing well. I want to thank you to my subscribers. There it is. Okay. I want to thank my subscribers and any new subscribers that I have, as well as those who are just swinging through. It's really appreciated. Please hit like, share, comment, and subscribe. To help me grow my YouTube channel would be greatly appreciated. For those of you that are new, we do tackle the topic of healing slave trauma. And we always start off with our saying, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Have you been feeding yourself fresh or rotten fruit? We always want to mind the self-talk that we do with ourselves, as well as what we speak out loud, as well as what we speak about others. It is okay to vent. Okay, we all do. But we want to make sure that we're not lying on others or being malicious. Okay, sometimes that can activate, reap what you sow. Okay, let's see. And so with that, um, normally we have different things that we do. But one of the main things we do is we do tackle the topic of healing slave trauma. We're using the DBT deck for clients and therapists, 101 mindful practices to manage distress, regulate emotions, and build better relationships. Okay, let's see. Yeah. And so I will have this in the description box. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything else. Also, check out the description box. There's information about if you need to find a therapist, as well as if you need to get in contact with me for services. All that's in the description box. Also, be aware of people that may be impersonating me. I will never reach out to you. Okay. Let's see. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of randomly pick. Randomly pick to see what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. Today we got accepts thoughts. So the acronym accepts, we're looking at the T in the word accepts thoughts. It says you cannot think about two things at once. So direct your thoughts to the helpful thought. It says do a crossword puzzle or, come on, it's this particular game. Sudoku? I don't know, y'all. Correct me in the in the comment section. Read an engaging book, get into a spirited discussion, or watch an engrossing movie. Occupy your thoughts away from worries, depressive thoughts, or your problems. Find something helpful to focus your thoughts on in this moment. Okay? All right. So our thoughts, yes, this right here is kind of part of being mindful, right? Our thoughts want to pull us back and forth. A lot of times our minds sometimes will wander to the past. A lot of times that's where depression lies. Sometimes when we're thinking about the future, that's what creates anxiety, right? The unknown. And so this is something that we can choose to do when we find our mind kind of swarming. We want to be able to direct our thoughts on something else, giving ourselves permission. And we've talked about this too. Not stay in worry and stress 24 hours a day, right? And it does take practice. And so one of the things when I'm talking to my clients, I always talk about is what happens is we have allowed our minds to kind of be like a child. Look at your mind kind of like a child, to kind of be like a spoiled brat. It kind of just wanders around. We don't put any boundaries. We don't put any limits on it. We allow it to do whatever it wants. But we do have to discipline our minds. So sometimes we have to look at our thoughts like that of, let's say, an undisciplined child. So the way this works, and this is something I want y'all to think about this week, practice this. So let's say if you're saying, I'm going to watch a movie or read a book, whatever it is, what we want you to do is to go ahead, focus on what you want to do. Okay. What's going to happen is get ready. Those thoughts are going to start trying to come in. Okay. It's basically going to poke you on the shoulder and the thoughts are going to come. This is what you do when the thoughts come. I want you to inhale, exhale, and you're going to have to speak to the thought. You're going to have to say something like this. I know it's normal for me to constantly worry, but at this time, I'm choosing to focus on my movie, or I'm choosing to focus on this book. Shift your attention immediately. The more you can do that without getting frustrated that you have to calmly speak to your mind, as well as the more you can not be frustrated with having to redirect your mind back to what you're doing, you'll find that it'll be easier to kind of calm that mind. Now, understand when you first do this, that the whole time, probably up to 50 to 100 times, that thought is going to come. Each time, you must take the deep breath and you must, again, calmly redirect that particular thought. Okay. And just say, I know it's normal. Again, I have not given put any type of limits or boundaries on my brain. So now I'm practicing something new and I'm going to focus on this, and you shift. The more you do that, eventually you'll find that that mind will calm down. Okay. So that's something that I want y'all to think about. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So put in the comment sections if y'all can kind of relate to this. Also, too, I want you all to comment in the comment section. Let's see. I want you to leave me. Let's see what color heart I want y'all to leave me. Let's see. Have y'all put a heart? Let's see today. Put a blue heart in the comment section. Okay. Just to kind of let me know that you're there. And if you can relate to this in any kind of way, or just showing support for the channel. Also, too, when you put anything in the comment section, it helps the algorithm pick up the channel, okay? It helps my YouTube channel grow, okay? So the next thing, for those of you that are new, we always kind of end with a type of affirmation of some sort, okay? And so we're going to continue with this one. Hadn't used this one in a while. 100 positive affirmation cards, okay? I will put this in the description as well, okay? So let's see what we're going to get. But yeah, our mind will just sit up there and go 24 hours a day. Okay. And so we want to practice that this week. Okay. All right. This flipped. I have a lot of them popping out. What's going on? Interesting. It says, perfect. I am in control. I am in control. Is that focusing? Come on, focus. I'm not used to this phone yet, guys. I think it's showing. And it reads, what am I in control of in this moment, right? So we just got through talking about controlling that mind, disciplining, come on, I'm trying to say the word discipline, learning to discipline the mind, right? If I could do anything, what would it be? Okay, that's interesting. If I could do anything, what would it be? And it's interesting, that question. Some people will choose some toxic things to want to do. Okay. And so you have to look at that. Okay. And if we're choosing more toxic things or unhealthy things, the question is, what are we trying to escape from? What is it that we're trying to block out? Okay. Or are you choosing something positive? If you could do anything, what would it be? Okay. Is that something that a dream or goal that you have that you're kind of intimidated by? Okay. But at the end of the day, we are in control. Okay. All right. Let's see. We had another one pop out. Interesting. It says, I am powerful. This is a pretty card. I am powerful. And powerful in the sense, like we're saying, that we actually have the power to discipline our mind, to discipline ourselves, if we should choose to do so. Okay. But sometimes we can feel like we're not in power. You know, we're always talking about connecting to slavery. Sometimes, again, in slavery, it's just this kind of this type of mentality where sometimes we feel overwhelmed, feeling like we don't have power, but we have quite a bit of power. And I do feel like, we've been talking about the political climate with things going a certain way, but even though a lot of blacks have kind of realized that when we kind of pull back our energy, focus on ourselves, that we become very powerful, even if the majority of the people around you don't agree. Um, and so we have more power than we realize. Also, too, if people are trying to have power over you, that's also an indication that sometimes people can see your potential of how powerful you are. Okay. So be aware of that. Okay. So sometimes we're thinking that people are trying to control us because we're weak. But sometimes, a lot of times, what's happening is they see how powerful we actually are. And they're trying to, they don't want, they want to control that for their benefit. Okay. But don't forget, we all are, one of the things our ancestors did die for us to all be free. Okay. Let's see. It says, what makes me feel empowered? How can I welcome more of those feelings into my life? Yeah. And so sometimes they can be tricky when we have given over our power to others. We're always talking about the dynamic of that of the role of master. Sometimes we're taking on the role of slave, right? Not standing in our power, you know, kind of scared of people's opinion and how people will feel about you making changes. Okay. But what makes me feel empowered, and how can I welcome more of those feelings into my life? So let's journal about that. Okay. Let's journal. Okay. All right, guys. I want to appreciate you so much for joining me. Okay. Again, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I post. Do look at the description box for information regarding finding a therapist, as well as information about self-harm. Sometimes those feelings can come up, but information there about that. Pass on that information if you know anyone in need, okay? And as I always end, one of the things I always talk about is everyone has a right to heal from trauma, okay? A lot of times our people have not been granted the empathy of that, but everyone has a right to heal from trauma without interference, without the opinion of others, okay? And even a race nation, okay? And until next time.